Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update, as always, with your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic on this, as Alex81SG so poignantly points out, the eve of the FOMC decision. And just to recap, historically, we have seen prices pump up leading up to the FOMC decision, and then positions unwinding and general market downside pressure following such an event. So today is an interesting day in the markets, a relatively mixed bag. We do have some assets down. I would say in the high-low end, Atom, for example, down 9.6%, Osmo down 7.6%, Ravencoin down 7.7%, ApeCoin down 6.8%, Hexcoin down a little bit. But the thing is, Atom and Osmo were on quite good tears, as was Ravencoin. So to see them withdrawing and pulling back while the rest of the market is up modestly, notable outliers being Helium, HNT, and Ripple, XRP, alongside Stellar Lumens, XLM, which is kind of interesting because I always considered Stellar Lumens and XRP in the corporate coin division. So it's like we're having a good corporate day. But overall, the markets are responding positive today. The traditional finance sector is up today. The VOO, the DIA, those are all up, the triple Qs. So again, just general upside leading into the FOMC is generally what we see. Now, we are statistically expecting downside pressure immediately following the FOMC decision that is going to be released tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're just gonna wait and see from there. We're gonna go over the charts. Obviously, from a risk reward perspective, for the majority of assets, being long here is the correct decision, as long as you're taking, and this is very important, as long as you're taking risk position or risk adjusted positions, you're not going all in on anything, that you're simply doing 1 to 2% risk per position, and that you also have the majority of your assets or a large position protecting you in the event of downside. That could be in the way of options contracts, as we are doing with puts purchased at strategic locations with strategic expiration dates to protect you in the event that price does collapse to the downside. This could be with a hedge position, and this could also just simply be by where your capital's at, i.e. probably the most and the best recommendation for most individuals right here, and what we're actively recommending to our non-premium clients, is 25% allocation to your crypto investments here, and 75% remaining in stable coins and waiting for further downside. So with that being said, let's get to the charts and break this all down. Before we begin, as always, we are very proud to host the fastest growing online community of cryptocurrency traders and investors. Make sure to join our free Discord at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Link in the description down below to stay up to date long after the show is over. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel, please click the like button and subscribe so you never miss an update. With that, let's get going. All right, again, as we can see, relatively mixed bag from the markets today. Again, notable outliers, XRP, Stellar Lumens, and Helium, which we'll go over those a little bit. Let's dive right into our analysis of Bitcoin today. Starting off with the weekly time frame. Again, nothing insane here. We have, of course, drawn out this key level. This really should be a ray. This shouldn't really be over that far, but I digress. We are, of course, trading underneath the 200 period weekly moving average, although this will look a little bit better if we go to the long-term scale that we like to do on Bitstamp. But again, just trading underneath the 200 period weekly simple moving average. Again, very synonymous as well with Bitcoin's realized price, which is a very good and interesting. You know what? I said I was going to do this. I never logged into Glassnodes. Let me just do that real quick. And we're in. Okay, and we can go to my dashboard and the bear market mirage dashboard. And here we go, valuation models. All right, so again, we are trading underneath Bitcoin's realized price, which is generally considered to be the fairest metric or the best metric for Bitcoin's actual price. This is also, and we'll look at this in just a second, this nexus of balanced price is going to be our next key level of support. That's currently sitting at about 16,823. That's why we're talking about the psychological level of 17,000 being the next level of support on the way to the downside. And then, of course, ultimately, kind of our considered rock bottom price is Bitcoin's delta price, which is a hybrid on-chain and technical valuation model. And it's coming in now at 13,301. And so I don't want us to be overly concerned with the 13,301 now, at least from a trading perspective. It's certainly fine to use that level as a take profit for a long-term short, or your hedge if that is the case, or for the majority of individuals who are executing less sophisticated trades, most likely going to be your buy-in area for spot purchasing. But the reason 17,000 is such an important level is because there is a convergence there of not only Bitcoin's balanced price, but also of the difficulty regression model. So the cost, including electricity, to produce a Bitcoin right now. So if Bitcoin does stumble and fall below, currently the difficulty regression model is at 18,045. So they did converge back here on August 26th, and they've separated a little bit since then, with the difficulty regression model going up with the cost of electricity rising due to the energy crisis that we're currently having. So yes, so this is important. And if we fall down below this level, then obviously mining Bitcoin is not going to be profitable, but this is going to be kicking off a situation known as minor capitulation, or will likely lead to a situation known as minor capitulation, which has been a reliable bottoming signal for Bitcoin previously. When miners capitulate and start turning off their machines, i.e. when Bitcoin miners don't even want to be around in Bitcoin anymore, typically a good time to buy because there's a lot of blood in the sheets. All right, a lot of blood in the sheets. Woo! Talk about a wild night. Anyways, okay, so nothing critical, nothing incredible happening here. Of course, on the weekly time frame, we are in this consolidation area, and we are toward the lower end of that, and we've been trading in this range with mean reversion as our dominant market regime. Therefore, typically here we want to be executing non-momentum strategies. We want to be executing mean reversion strategies, and Minx is a very powerful tool for this. So, for example, my favorite time frame to be trading on in market mean reverting market regimes is going to be the 45-minute to the hourly time frame. Just because price moves so quickly, it's just a very good time frame to be executing trades on. Simply scooping up positions when Minx is oversold and adding if it gets extremely oversold, and offloading positions when Minx gets overbought. It's very, very, very simple. And just Minx is incredibly good at this. Let's look at where we're currently at with price. Of course, yesterday Bitcoin did have this nice sell-off, panicking everybody, and then we closed a nice green doji yesterday, a nice reversal doji. Bitcoin rallying almost all the way up to the 45-minute 200-period simple moving average. So as you guys can see here, we formed a nice point of control for yesterday's session. You can see that the majority of volume was transacted right here to about 18,762, forming a short-term support for price, which is currently being respected. So we rallied up to the baseline, consolidated sideways for a little bit, had the sell-off right down to yesterday's point of control, popped back up to the baseline, and now double bottom at that point of control. So currently the point of control is held as support. All eyes are on whether it is going to continue to hold as support and continue to push for the upside. Me personally, I took a little bit of long exposure here. Took Bitcoin to I actually took 4 long positions today. 2 have actually been closed out profitably. And the other 2, I'm simply hold for the longest time. Not too much to talk about. Yeah, so I would be watching for a reaction right here. Just looking at this current price action and looking for the next trade. Just looking at this chart, I would certainly be interested in scooping up another long on another test of this level of support. But ultimately, I would be interested in taking Bitcoin up because we are at the bottom of the range and we have been in range trading session. Now, things to watch for. Let's zoom out to something like the 4-hour time frame. Things to watch for. Zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, so certainly things to watch for. Let's talk about that. Let's get our EMAs off the chart and let's draw this out. Okay, so if we put on to the chart VRVP, okay. So where is the bottom shelf of volume? It would be right about here, roughly right where price is. Notice this green line that is currently the support level for Bitcoin. It is essentially the bottom of the volume shelf, so volume drops off down below here. So because there's a lot of volume at these prices, it indicates that traders are more than willing to buy and sell at these prices. These prices are considered for short-term traders who are completely in control of price and action at this moment because long-term holders are really not doing anything on chain. Short-term price speculators are very happy to conduct transactions at these price levels, most notably 21,337, 20,268, and coming in last place, 19,248, slightly above where price is currently at. So this is something that's important to understand about trading in general, all right? The easiest way, yes, I did. Billy, if you ever get a chance to see Billy Joel live, do not pass up that offer. Now, most individuals will, let's just talk about our students, for example. Most students will discover cracking cryptocurrency, and then they will discover the pathways to profit methodology. They will become very excited. They will create a strategy. They will do very well in the market areas where that strategy performs exceptionally well, which is trending market environments, i.e. bull markets or bear markets. And then they will tend to get chopped up when we enter into areas of consolidation. And here, I mean, the reality is this, okay? We want to be adjusting our trading strategy, or we want to be adjusting risk to our basket of trading strategies, which is the ultimate goal, depending on the market regime, okay? When we are in consolidation regimes, when price is accumulating or distributing, we want to be biased to the idea to look for reversals. This is the highest probability trade strategy in mean reverting market regimes, i.e. where we have clearly established a range high and a range low. And again, you can use this tool of VRVP, used to be VPVR. But here, all we're doing is we're looking at the current range, okay? We're applying VPVR, and we're just going to mark off, or for our support and resistance, where the volume drops off. So where high volume nodes cease and we enter into low volume node territory. So this is how we can look and identify breakout trades, okay? This range helps us understand where we should be targeting, where we should be scooping up longs, where we should be dropping our longs and getting short. And it allows us to have levels upon which we can be confident, or more confident, we have a higher probability of success when we look and we do see a breakout or breakdown, okay? So what we want to see for a breakout or breakdown. So let's talk about what we would likely want to see if we feel confident that if Bitcoin's price moves down below support here, and we're worried, or we want to know whether it is likely that we're looking at a stop loss hunt, which is what we've seen here. You see price deviates below our support level, and then right here, and then bounces up very quickly. Let me actually use my zoom feature. So this is okay, cool. So what we can see here, yes, is on this first example, the price of Bitcoin trading briefly below the level of support and then reversing almost immediately. We see the exact same thing here. We see the exact same thing here. We see the exact same thing here, although this initial rally to 24K was very interesting. And again, you're going to have losing trades. You will always have losing trades. And this is an area where, let's actually get the drawings out there for a second so we can see with a little bit more clarity. All right, so let's talk about this one, because this one's tricky. Price does break out above. And when we're looking for a confirmed breakout, typical rules are that if you see price hanging out directly below resistance for an extended period of time, if you see a rise in open interest and a rise in buying pressure simultaneously, typically good to speculate on trades to the long side. Now, there's multiple ways you can actually execute upon the trade. You can just market enter into a long position once you see those factors, set your stop loss and trade accordingly. Or you can wait for further confirmation. So you can wait for price to break to the upside. You can wait for price to pull back and test that level that was just broken as support, and then buy essentially on the first up candle coming off of that reaction. That's called waiting for a reaction and trading accordingly. You can also wait once we break above resistance, pull back, test support. You can also wait until we close above the new high, and then you can typically enter into that breakout. Now, there are always going to be situations when you're looking for breakout trades that you're just going to get caught, right? That no matter how much analysis you do, no matter how much the indicators point you in the right direction, no matter how good your strategy is, you're going to buy the top and you're going to get stopped out. And that's why we use the stop losses, and that's why we use risk-adjusted position sizes as the core concept of our strategy, so that when we do have losing trades, they don't wipe us out. Cryptonomics, come on, man. There are, there are families in here. People are watching this with their kids. You can't just be recklessly saying numbers like that. 6,300, okay? Can't just say that's going to get us kicked off of YouTube, okay? This is a family show. How could you? Okay, so that brings us to this current area of the market, right? What are we looking for here? Well, I mean, ultimately, we are, as I said, in a range or mean reverting regime. So we should be ideally looking for range trades. So, i.e., price is very close to the bottom of the range. We should be looking for longs, and we should be looking to take price ultimately back up to the top of the range. Now, when we're looking for breakdown trades, when we're looking for price to break down out of this range and perhaps begin a descent down to 17,000 or 13,000, or as the fear monger over there said, 6,300. We want to see basically the exact same thing here. We want to see price break down. If we see price consolidate here and move sideways for an extended period of time, and we see a drop in open interest and a general drop in volume, that would be concerning. And we'll look at the charts here in a little bit to see if we do see that. If anyone's selling at 6,300, I'm a buyer. Yeah, me too. And we just want to see price extended outside this area for a long period of time. And again, you can always run into the same issues. You can always get whipsawed. Again, that's why you use risk-adjusted position sizes so that we don't lose a lot of capital, but it's still, you want to have those correct setups and have all those rule conditions in place before you just start entering into trades willy-nilly. Yeah, so we would want to start watching to see if price does close below 18,761. And let's actually, I'm going to go back to Binance. Yeah, on Binance is actually 18,694. And if we do see a consistent dropping off of open interest and a general drop in volume, and if we see market order flow being dominated by sellers, then probably not a bad idea to open up that short position. And from where I'm looking at right here, again, this is we already had TP1 on this position. Where we're looking at right here, I would likely just be using this high, this point of control as the stop loss. So, basically looking kind of for what we have here in reverse, right? Looking for that breakdown. Again, maybe looking for a retest of the resistance level that we broke down from, and then entering the position accordingly. So right now, overall, even as we're watching price drop down here a little bit, just based on where we are in the range, I am long biased. That is kind of the position I'm looking for here. Looking for upsides price momentum, and then we'll kind of reevaluate after the FOMC. That's also what, again, just what we've seen statistically is upwards price momentum moving into the FOMC announcement, and then downwards price action once the announcement is actually made. Moving over to lower time frame analysis here, courtesy of Coinalyze. We can actually analyze what is going on. So first, let's use the 30-minute time frame. Probably the best time frame to look at these metrics for non-day trading purposes. For non-day, although you can of course use them for day trading purposes. But okay, so price in a decline. We have open interest rising throughout this consolidation area. And overall, it's been relatively consistent. So even with price going down, we do see that ever since the CPI print dump several days ago, open interest is significantly higher after the dump than it was. Okay, if we look down at buy sell volume, okay, if we look down at buy sell volume, it has been generally consistent, right, with buyers or sellers in general equal reserve. Of course, we did have a nice influx. I know it's probably difficult to see, but we had an influx of traders right here. Actually, I do this. It's not difficult to see. We did have an influx of buyers here, small influx of buyers here. But in general, I would say that as far as market order flow, not a strong a dominance of shorts. Now that is a little bit in contrast to cumulative volume delta. Okay, and that's just looking at the differential of the delta and volume between bar to bar. So overall, we are seeing more selling than buying in the macro, but as far as market order flow goes, not so much. Funding has been biased to the long side here, which is typically not great to see at the lows. Funding is typically it's generally not positive to see when price is toward the bottom of the range. What you want to see is this. Sorry, so this is getting crowded. What you really want to see to kind of mark a bottom is this, right? Price moving down, price getting close to the low, and then you get a spike in negative funding. And that generally indicates that the shorts are just getting way too aggressive right now with price moving down, and price moves up accordingly and liquidates them. You can see right here. So now we are getting a nice wave of long liquidations in right here. You can see on this bar and on this bar, we're getting some nice long liquidations. I do like to see long liquidations. I do like to see long liquidations when price is near lows. Long liquidations are generally synonymous with price reversals and price moving around. Also note that despite what I said about cumulative volume delta, it does indicate that although the sellers were in control here, and that ultimately led to this sell-off where the shorts got too aggressive, as you guys can see here. So great opportunity to pick up a long. You can see that price has been distributing. There's a large movement to the downside. The shorts get too aggressive. You can actually see at that moment, cumulative volume delta begin picking up and buy-sell volume as well. Right here, you can see buy-sell volume actually just completely reverse course here, right alongside with cumulative volume delta. And that line that I just drew is maybe a little suspect. But the fact that ever since this last dump, we can clearly see that the trend of this line is not to the downside anymore. Cumulative volume delta is actually on the rise. So looking at this a little bit deeper, I would actually say that the sellers were in control here, of course, and then they got a little bit of aggressive. And now it certainly seems like they have pulled their foot off the gas. They have pulled their foot off the gas. You know, open interest is higher than it was during this distribution area. So again, we have had an overall increase in open interest. The trend is to the upside. The only thing that's not great here, this is good. This fact that we had this aggressive funding, the market has now reset a little bit into the imbalance. And this consistently positive funding is the only thing that I'm not a big fan of here for the bulls. So almost everything that I'm looking at is bullish. The only thing that I don't like is the positive funding. So I do feel that again, I feel that is some strength for the case for the bullish long trade here. Let's see here. Damian Hughes is asking what settings are my Waddah. Pretty much everything default except for the false positive filter. Yeah, other than this is all default. I do use Eller's EMA Smoother as my moving average types, and then a length of 20, a length of 40, and then 20 and 2 on the Bollinger Bands. 100 on dead zone look back length, 3.7 on the dead zone multiplier. And for those of you guys who don't know, this is a fantastic indicator, Waddah Attar Explosion. We have a wonderful strategy tester. It's one of our more popular indicators that you receive with premium membership. So definitely recommend. We've had a lot of individuals create often their first automated strategy or first successful trading strategy using the Waddah Attar Explosion Comprehensive Strategy Tester. So all good things. Okay, let's move on. So overall, what's the summary here? Overall, the summary is we do have a catalyst coming out tomorrow for the FOMC meeting. I am expecting upside price movement over the night and probably in the early morning leading up to the FOMC. And then, I mean, God forbid, if we get some kind of surprising positive, like dovish news from the Fed, then market's probably going to pump. We're at support, we're primed, that people are going to come in and buy. And if we get negative movements, then again, we want to be watching carefully tomorrow for the breakdown of support. But the thing is, with price reacting almost immediately to the dump, it makes the resulting movement volatile and profitable to trade. But as far as market structure and utilizing those movements to suss out what the actual mood of the market is in the long run, less reliable. So I would say that if we have the announcement from the FOMC that the market is pricing in tomorrow, which is a 75 basis point hike, and as I suspect, a 100 basis point hike. Mark your calendars, guys. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 100 basis points. I'll take you. Taking money bets. If we have a negative announcement, as expected, and the markets tank, and we actually fall below our current level of support, I will be more inclined to be looking for a stop loss hunt reversal opportunity. Sorry. Okay. Moving on to Ethereum. Verk in the chat. Hi, Justin. Ethereum below 1,000 by this weekend. Market can pump. But there will be no long uptrend until the rate stabilizes by the Fed. Yeah. So by the way, the market is pricing in. So I review a lot of traditional finance. So the market is pricing in rate stabilization. Excuse me. By end of Q2 2023. So, and this seems to be the consistent. This seems to be the consistent narrative that I'm hearing from traders that I know, investors that I know, that they don't really trade the way that I do. I'm a very frequent trader. I'm a very much exchange trader. These individuals that I'm talking about, they write newsletters and they have a good track record of success, but they're kind of more positional traders. That's certainly what I've heard from them, that the market typically nukes into the end of September, and then we go flat with maybe a 50% chance of a final downside capitulation event, possibly triggered by a catalyst. And then Q1, Q2 2023, the Fed pauses its quantitative tightening, pauses, not reverses, pauses, rates stabilize, and risk assets respond positively. Because I am of the opinion that peak inflation is behind us. Stagnation is upon us. But I digress. Okay, so Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum here. Okay, so first let's mark off our levels of support. And we'll mark off our current levels of resistance. And I think that's probably perfect. And we can also, I was being arbitrary there, but I'll just throw VPVR on, and wow, look at that. Look at that. Good job, Justin. Could we move this line up here? Yes. But I like it right where it's at, because this line right here has had more tests, significantly more tests, and there's significantly more volume. So we had this nice little stop loss hunt here. Again, this was just that this is just that bull trap, Bitcoin at 24K and bull trap Ethereum here. And then this was the speculation leading into the merge right here for the sell-off. Okay, so where are we at? What do I like? Ethereum's at a point of reversal right now. So again, we could draw another line right here, but we don't need to. The point of control is drawing that line for us. So Ethereum just sold off from the top of the range high right here down to a significant level of support. We have this level of support down here, which is the bottom at 1015. And to Verk's point, Ethereum below 1,000, again, definitely a possibility. Is it really what I'm trading for? No. I find that it's very helpful to keep your mind where it needs to be. So right now we're in a range market regime. So I'm going to keep my focus on a range market regime. I'm going to be looking for reversals within the bracket or within the range, and not really even consider. Well, that's not true. I mean, obviously I'm considering it, but not be looking to actually execute on momentum-based breakout trades until we are outside of the bracket, until we are outside of the range. So yeah, I think there's a good argument for support here. Again, I could see those who scooped up this low here did well. we don't have, if price does continue to rise, we don't really have a significant level of resistance until like 1448 on Ethereum. That's going to be the previous support that we will be retesting as potentially new resistance. So waiting to see what happens there. If we do break down below the point of control, which is currently at 1242, we'll be back inside this range right here. 1242 will then be looking to act as resistance, and we'll be hoping for basically 1,000, but 1,010, 1,015 to act as support. Blue Box Territory asks, a stop loss hunt and reversal opportunity. Do you mean a hunt of short stops before going lower, or the opposite? I mean the opposite. I mean what it's commonly called a sweep is the words I've used, the terminology I've used before. So looking at this chart of Ethereum, I can give you an example. Let's expand this. So here with Ethereum, we know that we have a lot of stop losses right here, because this is the current low. So we know that a lot of people who are taking long positions are going to be putting their stop losses right here. That means there's a lot of liquidity there, and markets move back and forwards between pockets of liquidity. So there is a vested interest to drive price down, annihilate all these stop losses. Those stop losses provide market order flow, which fuel and fill the limit orders of savvy traders who have placed their entries down here, and then they take price up. Okay. And what I'm saying is, if we take out support on a news-driven event, on a catalyst of a negative FOMC decision, then I would be more of the mind that we're witnessing a stop loss on. The reality is, I will put on two legs of a trade. I'll put on the reversal long trade, and I'll also put on the breakout short trade, and then I'll just close the losing trade out. I would close out the losing short if and when price crosses back above that $1,000 mark for Ethereum, for example, although I'm specifically talking about a Bitcoin trade in my example, but the market's the same here. And I would close out the losing long position if we opened and closed the daily bar below the level of support. Welcome to the chat, Alexander Pearson and Ron Legato. Good to see you in here. Also, shout outs to Tom Hardy, Bob the Builder, Crypto Bull 21. Yeah, so essentially what we had down here is a nice punctuated seller exhaustion extreme. You can see we formed a nice point of control down here at 1303.50, 1303.50, current level of support. Current level we would look for price to bounce off of, and currently probably the best place to be setting limit entries. I'd actually set them here at about 1310, the top of the shelf, hoping to grab that low volume node liquidity. There is, again, we are experiencing a low volume node from here to here. So that means this area right here is going to be wicked through or traveled through very quickly. So I am expecting to see most likely a stop loss hunt down into this area. And then we'll see if price can actually get up and break above our current level of resistance, which is our consolidation area at 1356.34. Now, to suss out whether price is more than likely to go up or go down based on what we're seeing, let's turn to Coinalyze. And we will look at Ethereum, and we're going to look at the 30-minute time frame here. And we're going to give it a refresh because it's being a thing. Oh, I only have the YouTube chat. Ju Shui and Nas Redden 1205. Shout outs to you guys over there on Twitch. Thank you guys for being in the chat. Sorry I missed you. I only had the YouTube chat popped open here. All right, so again, we're going to go to the 30-minute time frame, and I think this is super interesting. So we can see here very clearly. So this is the lead up to the merge right here, and we can see that even as price, sorry, I'm missing an indicator here. Bink. Yeah, hold on. Just let me analyze this for a little bit. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. So this tells a very clear story to me. Obviously, we have cumulative volume delta rising, and here's the thing: open interest. See, here's the pump leading up to the merge. As we approach the merge, you can see that open interest actually goes flat right? So even though price is rising, you can just see here open interest. You can see some big increases in positions and drops off, big positions opening up and dropping off. This is just very quick, rapid speculation. This is a high net worth individual opening up very large positions, most likely, and closing them out very quickly. In this case, unfortunately, due to a loss. So yeah, so as price was pumping leading into the merge, open interest stopped rising accordingly. And because open interest just went stagnant, there wasn't enough fuel. See, if price is trending, you need to continue the trend, you need rising open interest. You need new contracts, new traders coming in and injecting money into the market, or price is not going to have enough fuel to rise. It's eventually going to peter out. And it did exactly here at the top, up here at 1785. And Ethereum USDT starts falling off. You guys, just open interest just completely go stagnant. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You can see that open interest starts rising aggressively. Not aggressively, excuse me. Open interest starts rising significantly about halfway through the sell-off. After that first initial sell-off, price starts moving down and open interest rises accordingly. We can see here from cumulative volume delta that the sellers are just completely in control. And funny enough, you can tell from funding that shorts are in control. And the shorts get, crazy enough, you rarely see this, the shorts get really really aggressive right here. Somebody put on a huge, actually, this is so funny to see. You can see this. Look at the picture this tells. So look at this rise in open interest right here. This is a pretty significant rise in open interest in a short period of time. That's a 6% rise in total open interest just in this area, and price doesn't move very much. And the funding is extremely high here. And what happens here? They just shoot price up real quick. You can see from the green bars that they liquidate those shorts. That open interest is basically wiped out on this bar right here. It pumps up. It's even a scam wick. That open interest basically gets wiped out on this bar, and then price continues to the downside. And this is when open interest starts climbing a little bit more aggressively. But now, dear viewer, cumulative volume delta has shifted and is now beginning a trend to the upside here. So we are seeing longs accumulating positions here. This is pretty clear to see too from buy-sell volume. You can see buy-sell volume as a nice uptrend here. It's beginning a nice uptrend now. And open interest is now on the rise. It was on the decline here a little bit as shorts closed out positions. You can see here from price moving up after a continued downtrend. And shorts did get extremely aggressive here. That this is shorts closing out positions. So open interest dropping, cumulative volume delta rising, shorts closing out positions. And now open interest is rising as cumulative volume delta is rising. This is relatively bullish for Ethereum, actually. All right. I think this is bullish for Ethereum. Again, open interest is rising. Cumulative volume delta is rising. Funding is positive. I didn't really like that big spike in positive funding. And again, the market, the longs just got a little too aggressive here, pumped price up. We have this big spike in funding, and so the market brought it back down a little bit, liquidated them. And I think that's good to see. Buy sell volumes in an uptrend. Open interest is in an uptrend. Cumulative volume delta is in an uptrend again, but I repeat myself. And again, probably the most important thing is we're at a critical level of support. We're at the range point of control. We have this level of support down below us. We have a low liquidity zone down below us. So yeah, I would be long biased on Ethereum as well, at least moving into the FOMC meeting. Okay. Take a 30-second break and we will hear from ByBit, one of the great partners of the stream. We'll be right back, guys. Can't catch a break over on BitMEX with all the wicks? Try a better alternative at bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com and rest easy for a change. Yes, sir. bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com, official exchange partner of Cracking Cryptocurrency. Make sure to go get your free $50. Tell them Justin sent you. They're pretty nice over there. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we need to shoot more ads. I'm just so busy, you know. That's why, like, for real, that's why we're doing the streams. I would really like to let me just, you know, let me have a moment of sincerity with you guys. So while I love doing the live streams, I love having the ability to interact and engage with you guys in real time and do daily updates for the community. I would really, moving into the stage in my career, I would prefer to focus on building out our YouTube videos with pre-recorded content and educational content. Less, hey, this is what's going on in the market today, and like listen to my trades and all that kind of stuff. Even though I enjoy doing that, but I'm already doing that all day in the premium trading group. I'd really like to form some great educational content for everybody on how to trade, because those are our best performing videos here on the channel. Our TD Sequential 101 videos are best performing video, followed by the Waddah Attar explosion. Then we've got the Ichimoku strategy, moving averages strategies. So I'd like to make a lot more videos like that moving forward. So just a moment of clarity there. Okay. Excuse me. Just a second, gents. For one thumbs up in the chat, guys. What tool should you use before you enter any trade? What is the number one tool that you should use before you open any trade? Excellent. Let's check. All right, Crypto Bull 21 in with the first correct answer. Risk calculator, Alex81SG, close behind with position size calculator, Ron Legato. Correct, yes. Quadrigo position size calculator is built into Quadrigo. I will accept that. Kimozabi, quotes products, Hugo Go. Flux capacitor. You know what? You get an honorary thumbs up. 2 thumbs ups to all the individual. Sorry. Yeah, 2 thumbs up to everybody. All right. The position size calculator. That's right. Why? Because we need risk adjusted position sizes. You need to know when you enter a position. Damn. Okay. If I risk 2%, my take profit is if I'm using a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which is not bad for using your first take profit. Then you know that if your stop loss gets hit, you're going to lose 2% of your account. If your take profit gets hit, you're going to make 2% on your account, or whatever your risk percentage is. And I just grabbed some long exposure to Ethereum here. All right. You don't have to copy me. Just what I do. All right. Okay. So let's move on. Oh, we just did Ethereum, but I didn't change the thing, of course. But that was Ethereum. Let's move on to our altcoin analysis. So we're going to go over a few factors today. Of course, this is all covered in today's market analysis on the website. Flux capacitor, dude. Tom Hardy. God damn it. I love you, bro. Woo. Okay. Also, very cool to see. So we have had a member in our community for a long time. It's been a pleasure to watch him grow. His name is Paul the Person. He's in here. He's also goes by Bob the Builder. And yeah, so just a great. He's been doing, I mean, fantastic daily updates in our premium lounge. Regarding traditional finance, the yield curve, the yield curves inverting, bonds, just fantastic macroeconomic stuff. And he has agreed to allow me to showcase this work on our website and our market updates. So make sure you guys go navigate over to the website, check that out after the show. Link is down in the description as always. So we're going to begin off. We are going to begin our altcoin analysis by looking at large increases in open interest overnight. This is generally where the most profitable opportunities are. If we look at where everybody else is moving into, that's where the liquidity and the volume is going to be. We can see the leaders today are going to be Ripple, XRP, USDT, and INJ USDT, followed by Arweave, Algo, and Ocean. Then, of course, Stellar Lumens and Helium on there are as well. But yeah, XRP is relatively interesting. Actually, looking at the XRP chart. I don't know why I did all that. We'll look at the chart on Binance. Let's go to the 4 hour first here for a little bit. Okay, so just the exact same thing here, guys. The exact same thing. And you know, if XRP just continues to pump and I come back tomorrow, just feel free to make fun of me. But I'm just saying, realistically here, what have I been saying? What have I been saying for the entirety of the Ethereum and Bitcoin analysis? When we're in a mean reverting market regime, we want to be executing a mean reverting dominant strategy, i.e. when price is overbought, we want to short it. When price is oversold, we want to buy it. In XRP, we can just do the exact same thing here. We can use volume profile, and that allows us to identify very effectively where our levels of support and resistance are. We can even come over here and mark off that area if you guys want, because there is the draw. You notice that I did not do that with Ethereum, but because that is correlating so very nicely to where price is at, I thought it would be a helpful visual for you guys to see here. So looking at this chart, looking at the chart of XRP, see, here's the thing, and this is where most traders get in trouble. They'll just look here, right? They'll for example, maybe they see, they just, whatever screener maybe process that they have, but they'll see that XRP is pumping today, and they'll come in, they'll boot up this chart. They'll just look at what's going on today and they'll be like, oh my God, dude, it's breaking out. It's happening. Hey, over here. By the way, Lynn Day 2021 and Debbie Key, thanks for the follows over there on Twitch. Highly appreciate it, guys. I didn't, again, I'm sorry. I for some reason, I only have the YouTube chat pulled up over here in front of me. Over here to my left, I can see your guys' Twitch chat, and Ju Shui and Linda AD had just fantastic answers to what tool should you use. Linda AD saying VPN, and Ju Shui saying risk to reward ratio, which again, you were definitely in the right place. You're definitely in the right place. Yes. But see, risk reward ratio, so you have to know your stop loss first. And you can enter your position size, and I commonly do this, especially like if I'm in a rush, if the market's pumping. I'll just calculate my position size out based on my stop loss and where my entry is. And as far as risk to reward ratio, that all depends on where your take profit is, which where your take profit is honestly less important than where your stop loss is. Nice, Ron. I appreciate that, man. I do like, what man doesn't like ranting about government, right? Okay, anyways, so XRP is in a range here. It's at the top of the range. It's actually moved up with a lot of momentum, and that's generally not a great thing. So we are short biased on XRP. What is going to break that short bias? We need to see a open and close above 42.11. Open and close above 42.11. We would be talking about an actual breakout, and we don't really have, we have a huge low volume node up until about 50 cents. So XRP breaking out could jump another 18 to 20%. Very, very possible if we do get a firm break. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Sorry. Yeah, for some reason, you guys, I had my screen over here because I was over on Coinalyze just a second ago. And I don't know why I just fixed it, because we're about to hop back to Coinalyze right now. And look at XRP. Bflow asks, do you have to pay to get those? No, this is a free tool. Nope, it's a free tool. You just have to create an account, which is free. So XRP, let's look at the 30-minute time frame and try to suss out what's going on here. Yeah, so this is very telling. We can see open interest essentially stagnant. We can see open interest rise very dramatically here, completely fall off, and open interest was completely stagnant on this entire move to the upside. You know, and interestingly enough, even as we started to pump for the second time here, you can see both from buy sell volume here and cumulative volume delta that nobody was really buying. Open interest wasn't buying. And sellers were overall in control of the market. And then kind of out of nowhere, we get this big pump, big rise in open interest. It is now falling off. Open interest is dropping, and the sellers are beginning to take back control after that brief little wave of buy volume. So again, I am overall biased to the short side here. I did actually open. I am short on XRP. This last little push to the upside here actually filled my short position, and we will see. So yeah, so Alex giving us a little bit of an update here on the legal situation. Court case changed this week for XRP. Judgment is going to be soon on the case. Both the plaintiff and defendant have requested a summary judgment. Let's end it now. So are we expecting that to be positive or negative for XRP? I mean, they met with the CFTC today, yesterday, which was, or maybe it was today, pumping rumors that they are going to be considered a commodity by the CFTC, but no word yet on that. That sounds very, 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 very unlikely, in my opinion. But you never know. So again, I think short biased here is the correct trade. Watch carefully for an open and close above. Hold on a second. Watch very closely for an open and close above 42 cents. And then we can consider looking for a momentum breakout position on XRP. So definitely one to watch. Next, INJ. I did look and take a position on INJ. INJ is very interesting. Yeah, so basically INJ, kind of the same thing. We've got this nice range that we've been trading in. Consistent support. We're about in the midway area of the range right here. So again, I would just be more. I'm certainly I actually took a long position. I am biased toward looking for long positions in this area. We're in the lower end of the distribution here. You want to scoop up longs on this way and then sell them up here toward the top until you have a confirmed break. Looking down at the 45-minute time frame on just today's price action, we see something. We see. Why did that jump? Why are you doing this? So yesterday's session ended up actually being here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, so again, this is why I was concerned when that wasn't down there. But again, a lot of open interest rose down here, and we can see that on the Coinalyze chart of INJ. But again, a lot of open interest came into the market here. Nice pump up to the range point of control. A little bit of rejection currently so far, but we have pulled back down to the bottom of that volume shelf. Perfect area for price to actually get bought up here if we are going to push again for that point of control. So INJ is relatively interesting. I am biased to the long side on that one. Let's do a quick summary of our other altcoins of interest. These are going to be our strong and oversold altcoins. So typically, the way it works with my trading anyways, is I will use a combination of technical analysis and sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis being, and really I call it exchange analysis, but you consider all this sentiment analysis to a certain extent. That's good. Always like to see take profits being filled. A second here, boys. That's fine. Okay. Okay, cool. That's easy, $200. Right. So I will use a combination. My flow is I will use a combination of open interest analysis to really point me in the right direction, I will find assets for intraday positions. I will put those on typically in the morning. In the evening, I will review the daily charts and weekly charts. I will review the daily charts every evening for momentum-based longer swing trades. And then every week, I will review the weekly charts for positional trades. And this screener, this strong and oversold more and more and more, I'm using in combination with that weekly and daily time frame, more specifically the weekly. So I think this is a great tool to use for positional trades because I've been working with some clients on executing a strategy revolving around this. And one thing that we figured out very quickly is that these positions take some time. So you really have to be positional and have some patience with these. But strong and oversold, Ethereum at the top, MVRV score that is negative now and strong on-chain activity. Shiba Inu now jumping onto the charts, as well as Hex. Hex has been on this chart for a while. So as we've talked about, we do feel that Hex is in active accumulation. So picking up positions is perhaps not a bad idea here. And then actually a new entrance, and one that I added to my short-term swing portfolio here the other night actually, is Bone Shiba Swap. So interesting ticker here, and now showing up the next day on my strong and oversold screener. So very cool to see. Always like to see that. Exchange inflow anomalies. These are coins that you typically do not want to buy because they just had a large influx of flow to exchanges, and those are typically sent to sell. So Matic, the ERC20 version, at the top of there. Reserve rights, machine exchange coin, Played app, ELF, the perpetual protocol, LON, streamer, super rare, and CUSDC, although CUSDC is not really a trade asset. And then personally, my screener that looks for big increases in daily active addresses, daily increases in on-chain volume and exchange volume. Compound at the top of the chart. Hero, HXRO, definitely a seller right there. You don't want to buy Hero. Perpetual protocol is a sell. LON is a sell. Goldfinch is potentially a buy. Check that one out. Viberate, definitely a sell. That one just had a massive pump. It's going down. Whale is a sell. Monavale is a sell. Maps is a sell. XDeFi wallet is maybe one to check out, as well as Prosper. Origin Sport is a sell. So is Zelwyn. Empty Set Dollar is a sell. Base Protocol is a sell. GXT, I don't really know anything about, but potentially maybe looks like it's in a strong oversold position. So maybe check that out. 960% increase in volume. Let's check that out. First, let's look what's going on with the price. So yeah, price is just in a downtrend. There hasn't even been a pump. Let's look at the last week. Yeah, so this is pretty, I mean, this is looking pretty interesting so far. Let's look at the last month. Okay. Well, let's look at the last 3 months. Yeah, there was, I mean, just a massive explosion in volume on chain and exchange volume right here in these lows. So is GXT getting actively accumulated? I mean, pretty consistent, but the problem is, you know, it's a pretty consistent amount of daily active addresses. But what's interesting, so that's not really, usually that's the most informative, but what is informative here is this big spike of transaction volume. These usually come in at pivot points in the market, and a massive amount of volume coming in right here. So yeah, GXT potentially one to check out, boys. Go degen appropriately. Okay, dog and bone coins are most oversold. Who would have thought that? All right. How do I get the blue bar on the side of my charts? That's volume profile visible range, and you can access it by going to the indicators, technicals, and then selecting the volume profile tab. Either of these are really good. They're all a little different and nuanced depending on your application. Visible range volume profile is certainly the Swiss Army knife of the volume profiles. All right, that's about all we've got for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll go to the DSLR for the outro. And again, thank you for all the support, guys. Highly appreciated. You guys are the absolute best. There's no place I would rather be. Briefly, I'm going to summarize and read through the comments left on yesterday's video. Okay, yesterday we've got Crypto Bull 21 with the praying hands. Thank you so much, brother. GB Wally saying, I learned so much each episode, even the short ones. Thank you, bro. My buddy Philly from Manchester saying, great show. Bob the Builder, nothing like a cracking crypto show. Best community on earth. Ain't no party like a CC party. Getting Brack, holy shit, 100 views. This market is dead. We're here, whether there's 10 or 50. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 views, 100 views, guys. We stay true. That was all the comments for today. If you guys would like your comments read live on the air, make sure to leave a comment after today's show with comments, questions, concerns, sarcastic remarks, hot stock tips, or death threats. You all are accepted. All are welcome in the comment section. Make sure to join our free Discord to stay up to date long after the show. Go get your free $50 from ByBit. And if you would like to improve your trading, consider joining the premium trading group, accessing all of our proprietary signals, trading software, potential automation, market analysis, and our Pathways to Profit curriculum, as well as our risk management material. We'll be happy to see you in there and add you to the community. Until next time, we will be back tomorrow. Remember, guys, emotional discipline, risk management. And until I see you in tomorrow's episode, trade safely. Thanks for all the support, guys.